let me bring something up here. As an older person, someone who grew up with the original Star Wars trilogy, who saw the glory of the sci-fi extravaganza change the way movies are made, fell in love with great characters, classic characters, practical and awesome special effects, and then got to witness 25 years ago in 1999 a movie called The Phantom Menace and fell asleep twice during it. Then he got to see episode 2 and episode 3 and fell asleep during both of those. And I have found, even after multiple viewings, that the Star Wars prequels are trash. That is me and my generation, kind of what our consensus is on the Star Wars prequels. But younger people like yourselves, these were the movies they were introduced to. The Clone Wars was their introduction to Star Wars. They love these movies. There's different reasons. Eric, you put a different reason in the chat that we'll get into that I actually think makes a whole lot of sense as to why these are better movies for you. But I just want to know why. Why does the younger generation love the Star Wars prequels when a generation of old fogies like myself hate them so much? What's the discourse, and what are your stances on the Star Wars prequels as they turn 25 years old?
You can go first.
Okay, so for me, honestly, I think the prequels is my introduction to Star Wars. Like, I vividly remember being on the school bus and like all the kids, that went to go see the movie were just talking about it. Like, it was such a good time. Like, oh, this happened. That he fought about the freaking volcano. We're going crazy. Like, with all this crazy stuff that was going on. And then you had you had the battles. I remember seeing some of the races they had with the freaking. I can't even say it. I can't even think of it.
Pod racers.
Yeah, the pod races.
Now this is pod racing.
Like, I was hooked. And then I think I went on to see like the originals later on, at some point. So it's kind of blurry what I seen first. But around that time also we had the games. We had eventually the cartoons. So I think it was just a fond memory of like I incorporated it all in one. Especially when Clone Wars came out, you follow Anakin and Han Solo and all them. So I think that's why it's cool for me. When I seen it older, I was like, yo, this is actually kind of trash. The writing's actually really bad. But I was just so invested in the world and the lore. And it was kind of the visuals. I think that's what hooked people originally, too, was the visuals of Star Wars. And that's kind of what got me. So then when I see the new trilogy, after like finally not liking the prequels, the new trilogy made me question if I actually like Star Wars or not. So I kind of have a mixed relationship with the stories and not, but the prequels for me kind of held up better than the new stuff.
All right, Eric, your take on the prequels in Star Wars.
Okay, before I start, just to give people an idea of how I feel about the prequels, I have a friend who I've known since second grade, and we have a chat on Instagram. I am not exaggerating when I say literally almost every day our chat is filled with Star Wars prequel memes. Almost every day, any meme we see with Star Wars prequels. Because I believe that there are two camps of people who like Star Wars prequels. Either you like it, ironically, because if you watch it, if you actually sit down and watch these movies, they're pretty fucking silly. Or you like the action and the special effects, and that's fine. Like, film is a visual media. If you are attracted to the visual aspect of seeing, like, the lightsaber fights in the prequels are much better than originally Darth Vader versus Ben Kenobi. They were just meh. So I get it. Anakin versus Sobe, cool fight, and Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon. And the story has potential. I've always said that the prequels just revealed that, and I'm going to catch heat for this, George Lucas is not a good director. The original trilogy, he just had very talented actors in Carrie Fisher, who was classically trained, Harrison Ford, who is Harrison Ford, and Mark Hamill, who's fucking amazing. So he had fantastic talent. Hayden Christensen is not a bad actor. He just had really bad direction. He's not a great actor. He's a good actor. He's okay. He's what TNA wants to be. He's okay. So I'm in the camp of irony. I look at it and I'm like, man, this is silly. But like Knox said, the new trilogy It was so bad. It made me. I'd much rather watch the prequels and laugh at it than watch the new trilogy and be angry. Fucking Last Jedi is my most hated movie. I actually get I don't get mad at movies because I'm the one making the choice to watch it. But I actually get mad when I think of The Last Jedi. I fucking wasted so much time watching that movie, and I'm mad it exists.
Same. Like, I'm sorry, Zach. So when I first seen like the new trilogy, The Force Awakens, I actually enjoyed it. I didn't really particularly like how they did Han Solo and his son, but I thought it could have been done better. But still, good opening. And I thought, man, Finn's about to be crazy. He broke, out of his freaking the mind control. He's about to be a Jedi. And then Last Jedi comes up. I'm like, and you guys know we knew each other when Last Jedi was coming out where we worked.
Yeah.
The hype for that was damn near Infinity War level, I think. Like we were talking about, like, you have to be up all night. You have to, the theater's gonna be open 24/7. And then it came out and it was trash, and we were closing early. No one was showing up. That's probably the most disappointing thing I've ever been in a theater.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball so much with those no ones, man. Especially John Boyega's character. I thought that was going to be like this big arc, and it was just like, all right, thanks for stopping by the Love Boat, Charo. Like, thanks for showing up 5 minutes in a movie. Like, it was such a drop ball, and like, I honestly, I hated Han Solo. I hated Ben Solo's kid. I hated him so much. I hated him.
Yeah.
It's bad when the actor is like mad about, like, John Boyega did not hold back how much he hated Finn's progression.
He doesn't like it. My boy Mark Hamill was pissed. I'm pretty sure Adam Driver was pissed. He doesn't want to be part of it anymore.
So my whole thing with this movie is, like, a lot of the stuff here didn't really. It was just like flat. Everything about these movies was flat. The action seemed so CGI. It was flat to me, except obviously the time. I thought the pod racing was cool because it looked really cool. But everything was flat, acting-wise and everything like that. And I don't give Hayden Christensen any hate at all. No matter who you are, if you're cast as Darth Vader without the helmet and a young version, no matter who you are, you're screwed. This guy's the ultimate villain until, like, these movies came out and kind of like showed the great and powerful Oz behind the curtain. You're screwed no matter who plays him. There was so much flat. Ray Park, man, I'm so glad he was doing X-Men and all these other things at the time, because boy, Darth Maul on every single bit of packaging during episode 1 was in it for 5 minutes. Cool fight, love the score, actually love how it was shot. Crap. And everything else was just so weirdly, like, I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of these prequels, man. From story to story to story, I'm not a fan, and it just I pretend I haven't watched these so I can still think Darth Vader is one of the baddest villains.
See, this is one reason I love animation and video games also. So a young Anakin in the Clone Wars series is amazing. I love Anakin in the Clone Wars series.
That's probably why I like him. It was amazing.
Yeah, that works. Like, he's actually, you can see that he thinks different than the Jedi. He's actually cool. And then Darth Maul's whole story arc of, like, surviving the fight with Obi-Wan to Rebels, where they actually have him die against Obi-Wan, works. It's just they just didn't execute well live action. It's cheesy for me.
Metachlorians, I didn't get that. I didn't like the whole, like, clone thing with Boba Fett's dad, all this other shit. It was so much that just kind of, like, I don't want to say took a piss on the original trilogy. It was just like it just made it seem like they wanted or George wanted this trilogy to be the new definitive trilogy. Like, he still had it or something. And here's a quote from Tsunami. Why did you say everyone can be a Jedi and use the Force when it's not true and we're told the opposite in every movie? Exactamundo. Okay, yes, his dad was cool, but just, like, storyline wise overall, I'm not a big fan of.
I blame Rian Johnson for that, man. Not a bad director, don't get me wrong. But just to go from what's his name, J.J. Abrams, his direction, to switch directors and switch back, it just wasn't a proper story.
Yeah. Also, weirdly enough, lots of racial stereotypes in those prequels.
Yeah.
Dude,
I don't know where or how they came up with that, but it got kind of weird when you look back at it.
My biggest pet peeve was when Jar Jar said in the original, "It's all good."
Oh,
so you're telling me Jar Jar has the new MC Hammer album? His "It's All Good" song? That's where it fucking came from. You telling me Jar Jar Binks has that album? in a galaxy far, far away. He found that in a jukebox in Mos Eisley. What the hell? Like, oh, I hate that kind of crap.
Gee whiz.
All right. Those are any other like things you liked about the prequels that like an old guy like me just missed, like maybe I missed the boat on, or is there something I'm missing about the prequels?
I will say I think George Lucas again got lucky. It had a great cast, but just I think he had more people to work with than the original. Like I said, like I mentioned, like the 4 people, like Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, and 3 people, like who are like superstars. Had too much to work with in new ones, but thank goodness for Ewan McGregor. Thank goodness for Sir Christopher Lee. Which also, how the fuck did you get Christopher Lee for this? That's still never get how he. God, thank goodness he did. But I think everything great about the prequels came out in other media, like the cartoons and the games.
Okay. Knock, anything you want to add to the end of this discussion?
I think that's it, man. Like I think I just honestly I think for me I like the video games and the cartoons and then prequels originals.
Yeah.
I thought Rogue One was better than the new movies. I liked Rogue One.
Agreed.
I just wanted to see some cool shit, man. I wanted to see the Star Wars, the lightsaber fights. So when I see Last Jedi and you tease, you build up, it's like you built to the main event. You're about to get The Rock versus Cena. It's freaking
yes.
Kylo Ren versus Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker has to protect everyone that's in the cave. They're supposed to fight, and you tell me it's a fake fight? He's not even really there? What type of bullshit is this? I was hot.
Also, Disney is ruining lightsabers, by the way. I don't understand what the hell's going on with every new media. A lightsaber is just like a baseball bat that glows. I don't understand
that. All right. Well, that's it. Ready or not, you got this right here. Your kids love them. And I'm with you. What do I know? The younger generations love these movies. So again, if you're not watching live, let us know why you like this, especially if you're in the younger generation. The older ones were just, oh man, they just felt like they had so much more heart than these cold prequels. And man, the new ones are just, I think none of us like them. So prequels greater than the originals, and then those are greater than the Disney Plus shows, and then the new trilogy. Cool Money, you speak for a lot of the people that I'm trying to figure out right there. So the disconnect. But either way, people found some love in Star Wars. So happy 25 years, Star Wars prequels. We thank you for whatever you gave us.
Live long and prosper.
Actually, this Battlestar Galactica.
Oh man.
All right.